When it comes to Sasuke Uchiha, it's natural to think of the coolest jutsus in the whole Naruto series. The guy has always been the most stylish, the most badass, especially when facing weaker enemies. And when Sasuke is on top, that's when he outshines every other character. But then, out of all the weapons in his arsenal, which are the sickest techniques? Let's check it out right now. In Sasuke's raddest moments, he was always dominating his enemies. Unlike some characters who shine more when they're at a disadvantage, Rock Lee, Naruto, needing to overcome something, there are those who shine when they're unbeatable, you know? Madara is the best example I can give because of his character's aura. But Sasuke doesn't fall behind after all. He became more powerful than Madara. To this day, there are still people who consider Madara in his normal state stronger than when he became the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, simply because of his invincibility aura being so high in his normal form, and how he was overcome several times after his transformation. While Sasuke remained unbeatable for a good part of Shippuden post-time skip, remember? Man, that Sasuke was insane. He kept that tough guy style until he was really tested against Itachi, and other times against Killer Bee, Raikage, Danzo, and he came out standing at the end of all those confrontations. So, you ask me about Sasuke's arsenal? What are Uchiha's sickest skills? Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and smash that like button to support our project. Amaterasu. No need for introductions, let's be real. Everyone knows Amaterasu, the technique that literally defined Sasuke for the rest of the story. The ability to summon fire that never stops burning no matter what. Man, Amaterasu burns even fire, folks. You gotta be really badass to burn fire. The first time we saw Amaterasu was back in the original Naruto, used by Itachi. And this technique came with Sasuke's Mangekyo Sharingan after the fight with his brother, and it's undeniable. Sasuke surpassed Itachi in the use of Amaterasu. The various ways Sasuke used the black flames in combat made him an even more loved and hated character by the fans. When Sasuke used Amaterasu against Killer Bee, we saw how dangerous this ability is. Chidori Stream. Do you remember Sasuke's encounter with the new Team 7? Man, that was awesome! Naruto, Sakura, Yamato, and Sai finally found Sasuke in Orochimaru's hideout, and Uchiha humiliated the four. Seriously, that was a total beatdown, and that's where we see the Chidori Stream. When Sai and Yamato went on the offensive, Sasuke created an electrical discharge that covered his body. This discharge is strong enough to affect the nervous system of anyone caught in the area, so if you get close to Sasuke, it's game over. You'll be unable to stop his next move. Black Chidori. Speaking of nostalgia, nothing better than talking about the Valley of the End. Naruto versus Sasuke, Fox Chakra against the Curse Mark. That's where we saw the most badass Chidori in the entire series for the first time, and it carries other names, but I think Black Chidori is the best one. Overall, it's just a regular Chidori, but it gained Sage Chakra energy, either from the Curse Mark of Heaven or from the Sage of Six Paths. I won't hide that I really dig this Chidori, even more than the Chidori with Amaterasu. Look at the technique. It's a silver lightning. Can you get any tougher than that? Chibaku Tensei. The power of the Rinnegan is out of this world, literally. And the most striking ability of this eye is precisely Chibaku Tensei Planetary Devastation. Are you going to tell me that having the ability to create a gravitational orb and build a planetoid isn't heavy stuff? This attack serves both to seal enemies and to be used as a projectile, but I'd say sealing is the best function of this technique. After all, the most powerful version of this technique, Six Paths Chibaku Tensei, was able to seal Kaguya, the rabbit goddess of the series, on the freaking moon and in another dimension. It worked twice. Can you argue that this ability doesn't make it into Naruto's top 10 powers? No way. This technique definitely makes the list. Unfortunately, I admit that Sasuke lost this ability due to losing the Rinnegan, but seeing Sasuke using this technique against the tailed beasts during the war, and against Momoshiki there in Boruto, Man, it gives me chills every time Sasuke fights seriously. Everyone was hyped in the fight between Sasuke and Itachi, and the moment everyone believed the fight was over was after Kirin appeared. Seriously, what a sensational technique. And it carries a very significant meaning in the series because it was created for one purpose: to kill Itachi Uchiha. It wasn't meant to kill Naruto or kill Deidara, let alone kill Sakura. This move was meant to really kill Itachi and put an end to Sasuke's revenge once and for all. Did it work? Of course not, but if it weren't for Susanoo, Itachi would have been fried by that move. I'm a simple person. If a character manipulates real lightning and throws all the lightning from a storm at an enemy, I'm gonna think it's rad. Indra's arrow. You could argue that Kirin was the strongest electrical power in the Naruto universe, but when we talk about Indra's arrow, there's no debate. This is the most powerful lightning release technique in the Naruto universe, by far. Look at this power. A perfect Susanoo with the chakra of the 6 paths, and with the strength of the 9-tailed beasts. All of this to create a giant arrow with the power to create climatic catastrophes. I don't need to say more. This jutsu only appeared once, and I doubt Sasuke will bring Indra's arrow back later in Boruto. He can't without Rinnegan, actually. Susanoo. You definitely knew Susanoo was going to be on the list, and it makes all the sense in the world. This is the ability we saw Sasuke using the most in the series, and it gradually evolved. It's pretty obvious that Chidori is the jutsu that received the most variations, tied with Amaterasu. But Susanoo was the one that literally grew the most. The first time we saw Sasuke's Susanoo was at the Kage Summit, where he manifested the ribs of this colossus, and soon he could cover the top part of Susanoo with protection. After obtaining the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, Sasuke unlocked the complete Susanoo, creating legs and literally becoming a Megazord. And after obtaining Hagoromo's power, he unleashed the final form of Susanoo, the perfect Susanoo, the pinnacle of this technique. By far, this is Sasuke's raddest technique. And yes, Sasuke probably still has Susanoo in his arsenal even after losing it. Everything suggests that Sasuke can and will use Susanoo, so he always has this card up his sleeve. Whether he lost the perfect form or not, we'll have to find out.